Well, y'all know if you see moi, it must be Wednesday because hey, it's another drop of the Pink Link podcast. And today we have some lovely guests. We have Miss Shay here and her son Cameron. Am I right? Is it Cam for short? Cameron? And so I want to take the pleasure and reading off Miss Shay's bio, that she sent over. So, I just have to introduce her as she would like to be introduced today and just give you all a rundown on this lovely lady here. And so excuse me while I read it off to you. Okay. So I like to address her as Coach Heyyyyy Shay is your go-to real estate investing and income coach, hunty. She's multifaceted, no cookie cutter. Shay is also, a coach, a mom, women looking to become a new life coach, as well as entrepreneurs seeking to start their own business. So born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yes, baby.
Yes. Okay, so she's currently residing in Houston, Texas. Coach Shay has been in business since 2006. The longevity there. She started her business after working in the cellular communications field for 8 years and helping a Hall of Fame New Orleans Saints player Michael Lewis open his AT&T franchise and worked as the assistant manager there. She's a muralist. Am I saying it right? Muralist?
Yeah, muralist. That's it. That's it. Yes.
Drawing. Okay. Drawing and painting most of her life, which is one of the reasons she enjoys graphics and branding for her students and clients. Her values and work ethics are faith-based, and she believes in quality over quantity. Momager to her youngest son here, Cameron, a filmmaker who is a filmmaker, actor, and writer. She assists him as a producer, and the services they provide are in loving memory of her oldest son, Calvin, who is no longer with us. And my condolences on that as well, Miss Shay. She's excited about spilling all the coffee and tea and, keeping us up to date and making sure that we can do and be our besties. Seem like, live our best life over here.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I hope I read that off good.
Yes,
I hope
you did it.
if you hear something up in there, you know how to, hit her up because everything gonna be in the description box below. But first off, let's get into you being such a woman of trades. I can't say jack of all trades, but maybe Shay of trades. So where did all this come from? What did you basically said you did start going back in real estate, investing in income coaching. So could you tell me more? Where did that come from? Did you just start there, or was there some background to you getting into real estate and investing, things like that?
Well, I've always had an interest in real estate, okay, owning my own property, being a landlord, things of that sort. And I actually started purchasing my first home. I was maybe about 30 years old or so.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah. And that was an awesome experience and everything. So I invested in a coaching program. It was like one of those webinars you actually would go to and sit through for like a few hours and just getting up and soaking up all this information. I invested into myself with that, and it just pretty much skyrocketed from there. I wanted to become an actual real estate agent. And as I started to look into it and research and seek into that a whole lot more, I started getting all this information that I never heard before as it relates to delinquent taxes and contract flipping. Like, I was like, well, what is all this? So that sparked my interest, and I started researching. I found a coach and I participated in the programs and became certified, learned it all, put my boots on the ground, and started actually digging deeper into it to actually learn about it. And I found myself actually getting upset because I'm like, well, why my realtor? Why she didn't tell me about all this? But I came to see and to learn that a lot of agents don't know. So I was like, okay, all right, well, let me just continue to learn, dig deeper. I started doing real estate wholesaling, and that's pretty much where you're flipping the contracts and everything like that. and the liens and the sales and just the experience of it all, knowing that I can actually obtain properties without doing a credit check, without actually having to have a license, and
Wow.
without having to have a mortgage. So it was a way for me to invest not only in myself, but to build my legacy and to teach my son.
Yeah.
So even the first couple of lean sales that I went to, he was right there with me because I wanted him to learn as well. Because no one taught me when I was younger. I didn't know these things. And that's what I do now to help other mothers, to help moms, to help women in general learn how to actually invest in real estate, make an income in real estate without having thousands of dollars. Like we think, thousands of dollars to do this, and you actually don't. So
Wow. Well,
yeah.
I love that. I love that background as to why you got into it and then the things that you found out to it. Like, okay, well, why she didn't tell me this, but then just realizing, well, she didn't even know it.
You know.
And so now you gained the experience and invested in yourself to be able to, you know, help other women to invest in themselves to gain the knowledge so that you can continue paying that journey forward.
Right. And
And
some of my students
nice.
have been, actually, I've had a real estate agent. She was a realtor for 30 years. And she was like, oh, wow, this course is so awesome. It's so amazing. I didn't know this. I didn't know I can go here to find this. So it's awesome to know that you are making a difference in someone's life and giving them the information that they need, and seeing, hearing, and knowing that they're going to implement it and they're going to act on it and they're going to move on it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So
Yes, I love that because you said implement. So, and just as a coach myself, like you can teach and tell all day. However, the greatest reward is when people implement what has been told and taught, and
yeah.
you coach them through. And
Mhm.
so, is that where you found your passion into becoming a coach for coaches? And how do you find it to work with other coaches being a coach yourself? Do you see more?
Well, we're working to answer that. We're working with other coaches. I look at it as collaboration, no type of competition. Like everybody has their place, and God has our chosen people for His chosen people.
Mhm.
So your people is your people, my people is my people. I may have some people, and I'll send them on to you because you may coach in a different area. You see,
Mhm.
my focus in coaching is the real estate. My focus in coaching is helping women that want to become coaches.
Mhm.
And my focus also is entrepreneurs that want to start a custom creation business, because that's my background. I had a party favor business for maybe about 10 years where I
Oh,
designed invitations and party favors and hosted different events and baby showers and weddings. So that's my background, you see. So whereas I may see my client may need a certain area and you may be that professional in that area, I send them to you, and vice versa. So it's all about collaborating. We're not in this to
yes.
compete. God has enough for us all. So it's a matter of coming together and helping each other grow. So that's
And
my focus. That's my
and
goal,
being
to help others
coachable,
grow.
you know.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
That's why I said that
Being
because some coaches,
coachable.
you know, even me, I'm a coach, but I know that it's important to have someone coaching me. So you have to be
Exactly.
coachable,
Yes,
to
yes.
allow Miss Shay to come in as your coach, to coach you in areas that you may not be as efficient in as she is. She may, have expertise that beyond what like you can be at AD and then she can be at LN.
Right,
So
right,
that's another
right.
thing.
And as far as the action and implementation, that is very, very, very important, because we're in a day and an age where knowledge and information is all around us. We're in that day, you see, but it's a matter of actually taking action, applying what you've actually learned, and you start learning even more from your experiences. getting out
Right.
there. It's like I tell some of my students, and I make sure even with the real estate and the cold calling, you have to cold call people you don't know. You have to get on the phone. You have to talk to these individuals. You have to know how to handle rejection, and not get off the phone and cry and feel all sad. You have to know how to
Yes.
handle those things. So practice, of course. I give scripts. I give all of the contracts that they actually need, so they won't have to be out there trying to find this and find that. Everything, the
Wow.
structure and everything, so that they can have the tools and the structure of what they actually need to get started.
I love
Yes.
that. I love that. So, you said in helping your clients, and this is not them being coaching, but them, you coaching them to get their entrepreneur journeys on track. You do that as well for new entrepreneurs, right?
Right.
And
So
so,
for example, like I have a young lady, she's been my client student for right at about a year or so. She doesn't want to leave. I try to see if she wanted to transition, do something else, but she's been putting in the work. She's been ordering her equipment. She designs t-shirts. She designs like the water bottles and baby diaper cakes. So she's learning and implementing and continuing to grow. So she's scaling and growing. So that's was very, very important. And I know how it is when I was working my business by myself. My kids was too young to pitch in and to help, and I needed help. So I want to be to others what I wish I had when I was operating in my business, at times so busy, you don't have time to market. So I even have a course on miraculous marketing so that you can, pretty much get leads and bring those leads into your business. So I teach all of that as well. Because without marketing, who's going to know what you're doing? You can be the greatest, you can be the best at whatever it is you're doing. But if people don't know about it,
you're speaking to me.
how can they come to you? How can they find you? There's people out there waiting for you. There's people out there waiting for me. There's people out there waiting for him. So we have to step into our actual per se calling, our actual chosen place and walk in it. It's not about us. It's not about us. It's about helping those that surround us and helping other people grow.
Yes, I love it. And so with you saying, it's not just by us, we have to go to Mr. Cameron here because I know, as a mom myself, everything that I've learned and gained and doing, I want my kids to pick up on, and I want them to start, implement these things that we didn't have no clue on growing up.
Right.
So,
That's right.
Mr. Cameron, I introduced you some. So could you say hi to the audience and just come on and shed some light on what it is you have going on as well?
Sure. Yes. My name is Cameron. I'm an actor and filmmaker. I like to create short films that has to do with some sort of awareness that can reach out to people and have an impact on their lives in any kind of way. And I want to express that through my filmmaking and acting so people can have a better experience or realization or feel something from whether it's coming from acting or filmmaking. So that's basically
Wow. That's amazing. Like, I'm just so proud of him. And, this is my first introduction of me, Mr. Cameron. I've met Shay before. We started like on Zoom when I did my first Zoom meetings, So that's just amazing to hear. And how old are you, may I ask?
18, just turned.
Wow. So for him to be, 18 and was just such a dream, and a vision for his life, because you have, some may not be there, and this is just a blessing and witness to see you, young man, and congratulations on your journey that you started. And so how long have you been doing film?
Well, it's for a couple of years now.
Wow.
For a couple of years.
So where did that passion come from?
It originally came from my passion of acting, and my passion for acting grew into filmmaking and not just wanting to be in art, but also create art.
Oh, wow.
So.
Okay, so I love it. And so, Coach Shay, back to you. So do you feel yourself, being well, you are a momager, so that's much like coach. So do you feel yourself always coaching? Because my daughter was telling me yesterday, she said, Mom, you make everything a life lesson. Because I'm a life coach.
Yes, I do find myself doing that, and I have to back up. So yes, that is so true, because we want our children to know and to, be just know the things that we didn't. And once we learn these things, so we're just trying to dump it all on them, per se. But they're going to recognize, and they're going to realize, and they're going to get to that point. Oh, that's what Mama was talking about. Oh, I'm so glad she told me that. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I recognize and I realize this, so they'll understand it more when they get a little bit older. So it's okay. It's okay. Because I know everything may seem like a lecture, or you're coaching your students, and, to them, but they're going to be grateful for it. And I'm grateful. I am very, very, very grateful. This is my youngest son, and he just turned 18 last month, March the 12th. So he has a book coming out this month, actually. So we opened up to take pre-orders, and it's on the story of Turning Point. It's a book called Turning Point, and it's based off of his short film. And April is actually Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month. And that's what the book is based on. Okay, like pretty much how a young man was going through some difficulties at home because of the pandemic. And he reached out to his friend, met up with his friend, and they talked a little bit about the situation, and came up with a plan. So you got to read the book. You got to read the book. You got to
read the film. I was into it, like I'm trying to see what's going on.
That was just a little bit. Look, I ain't gonna spill all the tea on that one. Okay, that was just a little. That was a little drip.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so what's next? What happened?
That's a little drip. That's a little drip. So definitely. And I have you can actually do pre-orders. I have my linktree.com, all that creations. And there's a link in there to actually do some pre-orders, so we can get them on out to everybody's schools, nonprofits. They can get it for their children, for the students, and things of that sort. And like I say, it's prevention, is child abuse prevention awareness. And he's working on another film, actually, that's going to be coming out soon, against drunk driving.
Oh, wow.
Drinking and driving. Yeah. We've been seeing that a lot. And he actually started working on that.
I said, you're doing some amazing things, Cameron, over there. I like that inquisitiveness. Is that the right word? I'm sure doing the words of the day. Look, trying to make sure I'm word with the right sentence.
Yeah, so hoping and praying to reach other people so that they can recognize and realize, not to get on that road drinking and driving, hurting other people.
Yes. I love what you're doing. And so what experience do you, I want to ask the question, in a way, have you experienced child abuse, or what have you known someone personally to experience these things, and so that brought about you writing a book, or you've just seen it in the world so much that you felt the need to, hey, let me speak up on this and say something about this matter?
Yes, just seeing it around, like different things on the news, or whether if it's on TV, or if it's a topic covered in another show or so. I wanted to just go further into it.
I love that. Because that just shows you don't have to literally just go through something, but you can see others go through something and have a voice to change that narrative for others to know, hey, you can stand up, as they say, stand for something or fall for anything. And so he's standing against child abuse as well as drunk driving. I commend.
Yes.
I commend that. And so, Miss Shay, back to you. So as a life coach, and you being a coach, so I heard you mention that you are also now starting a boot camp to teach others to become coaches. I mean, because it seems like your son got some coaching to him too. Like, I think it's hey,
at his right time, he'll see what we see.
He's coaching others in them books.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So hopefully he will, because there's other young men that need that guidance. They need someone to look up to, someone to inspire them, someone actually out here doing something positive. With their lives. Yes, definitely.
I so love what he's doing, and they just like people, and this another thing I want to bring attention. Like how they say rappers be doing all these certain drugs, and then you got some rappers that don't do those drugs, but they rap about them. So I hope whatever whoever maybe listens to this, especially kid, you don't have to do certain things or just go through certain things to have a positive perspective to be able to really minister to others. So please take some notes from this young man here.
That is so true. That is so true, Marquita. Yes, that is so true.
And so so tell me more about your boot camp.
So, the boot camp is for 21 days and is basically, again, that structure and the things needed to actually get started so that individuals can become new life coaches. Again, that's broad. I use the term new life coach because it's so broad to let them know that they can make it whatever it is they want to make it into, from experience, from just pretty much that paid skill that they utilize on that 9 to 5. They can now start thinking about that, and they can take that and they can implement that and put that into their coaching. So there's so many people that need help, so many people that need guidance, and we're here, you're here, so definitely, and we can collaborate, sis. We can do some things together. And get some more individuals involved. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just life coaching. They can coach on health and fitness. So it's just a lot of different areas that they can actually implement that skill and that strategy into.
Yes, I love that you said collabing and on health and fitness as far as life coaching, because when you think about it, all of those things tie in together. Like I say, doing what's good to him for me is for you to do what's good to him for you. So, and that's mean taking care of your mental health as well as your physical and your spiritual health, So I love that you said that as well. Right. And so with that being said, what do you do, Coach Shay, to keep your mental well-being, your energy intact, and and just doing those things that's good to him for you?
Girl, prayer.
Yes.
Prayer, scriptures, reading. All things work together for my good, no matter how it looks or seems. I can do this. I can overcome this. Take a nap, take a break, but don't quit.
Amen. I love that.
Coffee, get some tea, rejuvenate, relax. Just don't quit. Keep going, keep going, and keep yourself motivated. These days, like I know what those bosses meant when they say on the application, self-motivated. They don't have time to make sure you motivated to do the job that you need to be doing.
Exactly.
So we have to stay motivated, self-motivation, and self, that mental awareness, mental health, listening to music, listening to jazz. It doesn't have to be, I'm from New Orleans and I grew up on bounce music, baby.
I know.
So it came a time now I had to put all that aside because it wasn't working in alignment with my spirit. So I love jazz. I love relaxing, good movies. So things like that actually help.
Right. Yeah. So that sounds awesome. And with I have this balance that with the trap music, I have to literally I don't listen to it like I used to, but I'm like, I know this thing. But my daughter sometimes she's like, she knows the old, she want to bring it back out of me. I'm like, let it stay where it's at. I'm on my never stay. I mean, I look at it at least 5 to 10%. I know sometimes if I hear a song, I be trying to, it just come out of me. So if you hear bounce music, What do? Do it come out of you, or you turn the radio?
I just haven't listened to it or heard it in quite some time now. I mean, I'm not even in New Orleans right now, so that helps as well, because I just don't hear it anymore. But it's certain ones I hear, and it's like, okay,
yeah, this takes me back.
I remember that. I remember that. We control. Hey, I'm good. I'm good.
Right. And that's what I was saying. Like, you really have to be intentional about what you're listening to and what you're taking in, because people don't think it matters or factor into your daily behaviors in life, but it actually does. So I understand where you're coming from with that. Yeah. So, Mr. Cameron, what do you do to keep yourself motivated and, your energy balance and things like that?
Well, listening to music, just working on different things, watching and like working on my craft as well, and just watching other people do what they do and get motivation from that as well. And besides that, just like to just be creative in other ways.
I love that. And so we're going to go to this now. So, Coach Shay, what would you say to someone who's watching, who, maybe, not doubting, what they're doing, or not seeing the things that they want to see as they start their entrepreneurship journey? What would you say to that person today?
I would say there's a time for everything. And you may just be in that place where it's time for you to learn and repair, heal, and grow to that next level. You see, a lot of times we try to get into certain things, and I know for myself, I've done it. We learn something and we're trying to go head first, just go at a fast pace and just speed on into it, where it's not time. So that's the same thing us mothers. Think of our children when they were crawling. What would it look like if we were trying to make that child that was crawling run outside to go get their little brother or sister? Like, how would we look trying to do that? That baby is crawling. That's the place and the space they're in at that time. You see, so as that child grows and develops, they'll start walking and eventually start running and eventually start riding a bike. But it's all at a particular time. And that's what we need to reflect on sometimes. Sometimes, like you mentioned earlier about, I may be in my L and someone else may be in a chapter D. And that's another thing. That's just like I may be in my L and you're in your Z in certain areas, So we have to recognize and realize, just because someone else is here, it doesn't mean it's time for us to be there. Congratulate them, celebrate them, and be grateful for where you are and learn the things that you need to learn at that time. I have a thing where I say prepared to be amazed. So it's all about preparation. Be prepared so that you can walk into that greatness, walk into that area that you need to operate and walk in. And even once you get to that place, because sometimes you don't have to wait on perfection. You see, so that's another thing. You have to find that balance. You don't have to be perfect for everything. You can start implementing some of the things that you learned during that preparation period and then start implementing them. And then you'll start seeing progression. You'll start seeing the results, good results. So be patient with yourself. Stop self-doubting. Stop talking negative against and towards yourself. I do oftentimes hear that sometimes. And as a coach with my clients, I dip in and I'll catch them so that they can start being aware. Because oh, wow, I didn't realize I said that. I didn't realize, okay, I'm glad you showed me that and told me that. So that now they're aware. So next time, there won't be a next time.
I love
so
that.
Keep something positive and better to yourself, regardless of how it feels. And then you'll see yourself actually progress and move forward. So
wow, that was awesome.
so what do you do for your mental health and your relaxation time?
Girl, we be on here all day. I'm just playing. But for me, I start my morning off the same every day, and that's with my scriptures. Well, prayer, then scripture, the Word of God, and I do like a meditation, and I listen to. I say affirmations or listen to affirmations, and then just being intentional in the mornings. You know, making sure I do some form of exercise now, being more intentional to do that. And lately I've been eating after like 12 or about 12. You know, this morning I ate about 10. But most days I intend to eat at a certain time to break a fast, you know, and just being intentional, and then journal, read. I do a combination of those things, but really 3 or 4 stays the same. And that's the prayer. First thing I do is praying, you know, read my scripture, like to start my day. Before I pick up my phone, if I pick up my phone, I'm going to right to the Holy Bible app.
Yes.
Yes, and then I do have Tony Evans study Bible, which I want to be more intentional about doing that too. And just really studying the word more. And so I do things such as that. And it definitely helps. And if I listen to music, it's like gospel or something like that, or maybe like an R&B, you know. And that's it. So, Mr. Cameron, what are you what would you like to say to someone, you know, maybe 15 through 18 or 15, you know, in their young adulthood, you know, and questioning where they are in life?
Well, that it's pretty much possible that they are able to do it, whether if they don't think it's possible, whether they doubt themselves, that they can take what they have and also create something out of that. And they can still be as effective and powerful, and they can just chase after their dreams and do what they love to do.
Yes, like you're doing. I love that. Okay, so y'all have to tell the people how they can contact y'all, how they can reach you, your social media outlets and handles. Though I'm gonna drop some stuff in that description box so y'all can tap in with them. I want them to let you all know as well.
Yes, so all that creations with a K. Okay, KREATIONS. That is our handle for Instagram, and that's our handle for Facebook. We also have linktree.com, all that creations as well. And you'll find on Linktree all of the different platforms and forms that's pretty much there for you to sign up with us and be transformed and get your life going on the right path.
Yes, yes. So you spoke for you and Mr. Cameron on those handles, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Okay, so you know it's been a pleasure, Coach Shay, to have you on. I thank you and Mr. Cameron for blessing the Pink Link audience and myself.
Yes,
you all
thank you. I have to represent with the pink link, Okay.
Thank you, girl. Thank you. And so as always, I want to let you know, that you are great in that life that you want, you create. Blessings on blessings to you all. And do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Pink Link Podcast. Support your sister, support a girl, support them. Like, hey, and if you got something valuable out of this interview here today, invest in yourself, read Mr. Cameron's book, support him, as a young Black man doing such great things, pour into this brother. Support Coach Shay as she continues to pour into others, and uplift the Black women in this community and other women. I know she just don't stop there. So, women, period. Even men, because I don't, men hit you up. So support, and just know that support is, something that you can do if you all just go like all that creations handles, it's just one small step, and that comes back to you. What you put out, you get back, you reap what you sow. So I'm a firm believer in that, and it shows up definitely in your life. So once again, thank y'all for tuning in, and like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Pink Link Podcast. Once again, have a blessed one. Thank you, Shay.
Thank you.